My son's name is Michael Justice Ajani Sterling. Michael after his grandfather, not to mention Jordan, Jackson, and Tyson. See, he came out fighting because nowadays little black boys don't get no justice. Instead, they get profiled, stereotyped, devalued, and taken from us. Taken from us. That ain't no way to live. An existence less than tentative. Walking on bullet shells, still wearing bibs. Went from killing our leaders to killing our kids. Oh, what a privilege it is, or must be, not to have to relate. Misguided and misinformed, watch how complicity makes way for hate, while pigment or class helps the fortunate to better insulate. It's been going on for years, but only now is it a topic for national debate, and Facebook revolutionaries are talking about share this meme, video, or photo before it's too late. It's funny though, how one's fake and have been solely on the irrational fear, prejudice, plus power assigned to each individual's face. But we're the ones tripping, huh? Asking for it and preoccupied with race or some kind of unjustified angst. Stop it. I can't breathe or reach my Skittles, swinging at the playground, playing with my new toy pistol. See, I can't help but to feel like you're missing the issue. Then again, this really ain't about you. Your ability to empathize or be more precise when you generalize. Nor is it my responsibility to make you confront the error in your own lies or comfort you just because you walked with a few signs. Stop posing for pictures and open your eyes. Actually, open your ears and let in the cries and please put away this popular post-racial propaganda that populates my timeline. We talk about the injustice of how we died and hashtag Black Lives Matter or Still I Rise. Then you reply, all lives matter. Stop trying to divide. Worry about gangsters and black-on-black crime. Now that's fine, though unrelated and an intellectual waste of time, as it's not at all unique in comparison to the scale of white-on-white crime. Not to mention, I thought we held police to a higher standard than everyday citizens who actually get prosecuted and later held accountable for their crimes. No, not this time. I see. The prison industrial complex was created for folk that look like me. I got it. I guess you could say I just take issue with our strategy. Reluctant to recycle the tactics of yesterday, as if the enemy is not prepared, protected, and more concerned with today. Far from frightened by our marches, riots, and fledgling displays of solidarity. Especially since the settler state controls the media and how we are portrayed. No shade. However, I'm a little ambivalent about what I see on the news and the internets. Some think these protests are amazing, and others, pointless. Some wanted to boycott Black Friday, while others saw that as useless. Some actually believe that if we put our hands up and yell, "Don't shoot," they listen and decide not to abuse us. Others, still even more clueless, maintain this is the same as Claudette fighting for a seat on the bus. Thus advocate for nonviolence, walkouts, die-ins, and wait for the right one to represent us. Then there are those more inclined to mistrust, like when my father was a Panther, they just shot back and shouted, "Y'all ain't finna whoop us." Yep, a lot of people like the way that sounds. Except the people who argue it's the government instigating a race war to get troops on the ground, which would mean previously there was some form of peace going around, but who knows? Nevertheless, what are you gonna do when the National Guard runs up in your town and youngsters come up missing? Innocent, but nowhere to be found. Tell me, is that really how it all goes down? Is that why the Patriot Act was written? Now I know how the Patriots gonna act, but who all gets to be a citizen? Sounds a little suspect when anyone can be a suspect, or should I say domestic subject, but maybe I'm just tripping. Or maybe I'm just upset that so many of my brothers and sisters, that's right, and sisters, end up in the street bleeding. Beyond the pathos of a mother grieving, I'm past perplexed at what I'm seeing. The targeted extermination of a select group of human beings. In fact, one could even argue that it's dangerous just to be black. But how do we respond and not react? How do we move forward and not back? How do we come together and stay on track? Unity, I understand, is the collective opportunity to ignore differences and strategically build community. Yet some might argue that there is no such thing, and that there are better ways to organize complex formations of identity. But then that's all theory and doesn't account for what transpires when the person with a gun is afraid of me. See, I also heard it said that all cops aren't bad and all whites aren't racist. Well, since we're stating the obvious, not all accusations are baseless and not all systematic structures of racism are faceless. But as we know, absolutes seldom lead to winning statements. And tactics like those merely deflect genuine engagement, as well as reflect an ignorance of the cases, their own subject position and what race is. Then there are people who don't like living in a police state and feel caged, but don't mind patrolling and policing what you post on your page. Enraged if they see you're not doing your part, as if awareness alone is where we end and not start. And it breaks my heart We've got problems but no solutions. And instead of an active and involved revolution, it seems we've gladly accepted comments or likes as our virtual substitution. So I ask, what are we doing? But I ain't got all the answers like Kanye told Sway. Just disturbed by the injustices of our day and some of the problems, some of the things some of the people had to say. So I sift through several circular and shallow arguments to clear the way for some critical thinking to go ahead and take place. However, I got good news, and it's that my God is a just God, which means if you're a Christian, you're allowed to do more than just pray. But turn the other cheek is what you say without the proper Jewish context and sloppily apply it to today. But hey, he ain't called us to be no fool. When the Bible says to die daily, it's a metaphor. It don't mean just let him kill you. Or turn a blind eye, hide behind your faith and oversimplify. Get scared and not try. Blame the victim, would just comply. See, I care when you ask why. Did you think it was just my enemies? Hardly. I got a license to love my people too. Partly because fighting against racialized oppression ain't nothing new. It's something Moses, Ezra, Nehemiah, and Esther all went through. And wasn't it Apostle Paul who said he'd rather be cursed for his people's sake? And Jesus, didn't he rush to the cross to get his hands dirty, not worried about the rust on the stakes? Yes, I believe so. So whatever it takes, I'm going to act and fight for my people to be treated equal until he gets back. That's my pact. Actually, I'm going to make a plaque. It reads, my son's name is Michael Justice Ajani Sterling. Ajani. It's West African for he who wins the struggle. And his mother and I weren't referring to no mere scuffle. See this boy? This boy is going to be humble, but dedicated to the destruction of injustice and watching it crumble. Sterling, well, that's the clan. And the plan is that he grows in wisdom and stature and actually makes it to become a man. His name is a prayer. And now we end where we first began, with justice.